Hi, and welcome to XR for Work. This is the show where we explore the immersive platforms for business and professional use. My name is Rick, and I'm your host here at XR for Work. Today, we explore a unique presentation and training platform that uses a PowerPoint-like take on designing immersive presentations. But first, don't forget to join us at XR for Work on our Facebook page, or visit us on our YouTube channel, where hopefully you're viewing this now. Follow us on Twitter at XR for Work, and then look us up over on LinkedIn, Rick Castile and Nicholas Johansson, who are the partners here at XR for Work. Now, let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about AfterNow Prez. Now, AfterNow Prez is something that's been on my radar screen for a little while. I've talked to the developer, Philippe, several months back and reached out recently to get an update on his most recent beta release, which is now in the SideQuest store. Now, AfterNow Prez is a AR and VR presentation platform. It actually started over in the Microsoft Store for the HoloLens and HoloLens 2, and has most recently been ported over to work on the Oculus Quest and can be found over in the SideQuest Store. Now, users create presentations using a PowerPoint-like slide format. And this is really one of the secret sauces that we'll show you and talk about during our presentation here today. And you use objects such as 3D photos, text, images, 3D objects, video, and populate a scene. As you watch the clip from AfterNow running in front of you, you can see kind of how they intend to use it in this particular case, at this particular scene. It's a HoloLens presentation in mixed reality where students are around a particular set of circumstances involving a police interaction with a citizen. And then to a more immersive content within VR that you're seeing now, where you can kind of walk through data analysis and actually be within and surrounded around by the particular data set. Triggers are placed to invoke animations, actions, or progressions. And then triggers can be user enacted, or they could be timed events. And again, if you've worked in PowerPoint at all, you'll find these all very, very familiar, as I did. And so who is this for? Who uses AfterNow Prez? Well, marketing teams, certainly, when you want to get a point across, or you have a pitch or a marketing campaign that you're looking to share, this is a fantastic app for that. Sales teams, when you want to put together a presentation again to share with investors in a very immersive, impressive format, well beyond what PowerPoint could possibly offer. Educators and trainers, entrepreneurs pitching ideas, or any kind of need where you want to convey a story or a message in 3D through immersive technologies. The platforms it runs on, as has been mentioned, you can get it on the Quest, on SideQuest now, and on the Microsoft Store for your HoloLens. So again, full VR and mixed reality. And so how do you create in AfterNow? Well, it's web-based, no code. So one of the many applications that is leveraging the use of WebXR to be able to develop in, and then you can throw on your head-mounted display and kind of watch your presentation evolve as you work on it, as I did. And so we're going to take a quick look here at a presentation that I created for XR for Work after getting a brief tutorial from the AfterNow crew. And just to show you a little bit about the interface, again, browser interface. And again, you get this very immediately recognizable set of slides and animations. And then I very quickly started to leverage what I knew and how I worked within PowerPoint to put it to work here in AfterNow. And so we're going to go through a quick presentation. And so you can see up here in the upper right, you get a presentation ID. And that presentation ID can be shared with those that you're intending to share this with. And they can either have a presenter-led session or be self-guided. So your intent here, whether you may be given a sales pitch and you're going to be involved in walking users through it, or whether it's more of an educational presentation that the student or the user is going to walk themselves through, you'll design that right here in the interface. So you can toggle presenter-led, self-guided, on and off, whether you want it online or offline. And this becomes a very important use case also, because if the intent is you're going to preload a headset with this to send it to somebody to watch on their own, which is one of the options that you get with AfterNow, you'll preload all the assets onto the headset in advance before sending it out. And then lock the presentation. Unlocked, obviously you're working on it. Locked, it's locked. And then you're just pulling in content. So you can add background music. You can change the background with a 360 photo. And then you set the stage. And then you're adding slide content. So in this particular case, I have my slide 1 here, where I've added a text block that welcomes the user in. And then I'm giving the slide animations over here on the right-hand slide. So as the slide transitions in, how does that look? And then as each slide comes up and then disappears, I have multiple choices how I want that to work. So you can see here, starting animations, ending animations. Delay start, do I start with the previous, after the previous? So you can really make these presentations extremely dynamic, utilizing, again, this very familiar looking process. And that is absolutely one of the secret sauces here, is that you can very quickly apply working in something like PowerPoint to designing what you did here, right? I have slide 1, slide 2, and these slides can have, this is just something very quick I threw together for the video today with 4 slides, but these slides can have multiple sets of content and animation within them. But I was just wanting to show, text, graphics, video, 3D object, transitioning in, transitioning out, and a basic working knowledge of the application in the program. And so you can see that, as I go from my video to bringing in my 3D object, I can set the 3D object to rotate, I can grow it, I can shrink it, I can place it in the scene where I want, and then, very quickly get to thank you for watching, which will come in at the end after all the other content has run through. And so I've set mine up self-guided. It's unlocked so that when I go in, I can position things, and it's online only. So the content will load when I kick off the presentation. And so let's actually go in, and now I'm using the Quest version in VR. So as I load it up, you'll notice that here in my Quest house, I'm going to go ahead and go down to unknown sources. It's side loaded right now. They are looking to get into the app lab, and so hopefully you'll see that very soon. And it's going to load up into a kind of very generic 3D lobby. And I've already logged in, otherwise you'd have a login screen that would greet you here. But because I've logged in, the presentations that I've been working on come up here in front of me, and I'll open up the XR for work. I could also put in a presentation ID from that presentation, as you had seen previously. So we'll load this up. It's going to pull in the assets, and you can see I'm in my 360 scene, and I can see all the assets floating and the slides in front of me. Now, all these things are available to me because I've launched into the presentation unlocked. right? So I can see all these things right here and I can manipulate them. So if I want to move this image to another place in the scene, or I want to turn the user facing a different direction, I can accomplish that here while the scene is unlocked. But I can go through, I can look at all the items, I can see that I'm in edit mode with the little wrist watch on my left arm. And I can again manipulate it, so I can grab this text and I can move it all around the scene and figure out, do I want it closer? Do I want it further? Do I want some sort of background, since I'm using white fonts, you know, to make sure that it stands out? Then I can bring up my menu. And when I'm ready, I can actually go into present mode. And we'll start the presentation and get rid of the menu. And we'll just walk through it once so you can see. So here is the starting animation. It slides in, it waits 5, it slides out, and then the other text comes up to give the user some instructions. So I will pause here a second as it says perform an air pinch, because it is hand aware, so you can put your controllers away and use hand gestures if you want. We're using the controllers here, so that slides out. As that slides out, the next slide comes up. It will perform its thing, wait for 5, goes away. I then pull up a video clip and a 3D object. I run the video clip. I rotate the 3D object in space while the video and the sound might be running while the user's watching it. And at the end, I make those disappear and thank you for watching. And so, you know, this was very easy to get into the flow of how this works and what I can do. And you come up with, you know, just endless possibilities about what you can do in this context. Just like with a PowerPoint, you can choose the design of your 3D environment, certainly to be appropriate with what you're teaching or training. You bring in your content, your text, your video, your sound. You put that all out there for the user, and voila, you are ready to go. And so the secret sauce, as I've mentioned, it uses a very powerful PowerPoint-like UI, and it's powerful because it's familiar and it's easily referenced. There's a reference there to something you've previously done. So again, very easy to jump into. Presentations can be self-guided or presenter-led, so you have a choice there about how you want the user to go through the session. You can now, AfterNow also provides services. So they can provide a turnkey solution for high-end, immersive, remote presentations. So if you don't want to tackle this yourself, or maybe again, you're going to send this out to 10 or 20 people that you want to lead through a sales presentation, they can help create this, package them up in quests, send them out so that the user just really has to put the headset on to join the presentation and get a very high-end, gee whiz, impressive, immersive presentation that you could possibly lead. It is available for both HoloLens and Quest, so it does kind of bridge between mixed and full virtual reality. And right now, it's free while it's in beta. They really are looking for users to work with. So they're eager for people to jump in and start using the platform over on SideQuest or on the HoloLens, and then reaching out and letting them know what their specific needs are, so they can grow that platform and also work with you to create really, really impressive presentations. Okay, and what's about the total cost of ownership? Well, again, it's free in the Microsoft Store and SideQuest. The devs are applying to the Oculus App Lab, so we hope it shows up there, and then we don't have to worry about the side loading anymore. Considerations are being given to developing a marketplace where users can develop and sell content created right in AfterNow, in an AfterNow store. If you go to the AfterNow website, you'll actually be able to find several presentations created by Philippe and the team there. One of them, a very impressive educational tour through the solar system, to really get a sense of how powerful the platform is. They offer services for development and distribution of content. They'll develop the presentations, they'll preload them onto quests, they'll send out quests in kiosk mode, shipped with Wi-Fi connectors, so that literally the recipients have to turn it on, be greeted, be sent right into AfterNow and into the presentation at a specific date and time when that's happening. So full turnkey solution available. And so what about our assessment model? Well, this is all about consumption and retention of information. And I just, again, am very impressed with this sense of using this analog in real life that's PowerPoint in 2D and bringing that into the 3D immersive world. And that makes you much more productive and efficient in getting it done. And right now, in terms of value and ROI, well, again, I think the sky's the limit, considering you can go out, download AfterNow now, and start working in it and work with the AfterNow team to help best meet your needs. Okay, well, that's it today. We, as always, thank you for joining us here at XR for Work. We want to hear from you. What platforms do you want to hear about? What changes can we make in our presentations that would be helpful to you? Any format issues that you might be having in terms of watching this content? Let us know. Again, reach out to us over on the Facebook page. Email us xrforwork@gmail.com or Twitter, xrforwork. And we'll see you in the metaverse. Bye now.